Hey guys, so today we are going to be out in the garden and harvesting our garlic. So here in the Pacific Northwest and for a lot of the country, garlic is planted in the fall, usually the end of September, beginning of October, and then about 9 months later, you get to harvest it. So here for us, that's mid to end of July, and I'm going to give you a couple of clues how you know that garlic is ready to harvest. So here is the row of garlic. So you can see that going all the way back there to the Brussels sprouts. And this is softneck garlic. And there's softneck garlic and there's hardneck garlic. So softneck garlic, the way that you can tell it's ready to harvest is when most of the stalks begin to fall over. So you can see that stalk right there is falling over. That one's falling over. That one is falling over. You go all the way down and the majority of them are falling over or are beginning to lean. I usually wait until at least 50% of them are doing that. That's how you know it's time to pull up your softneck garlic. So for hardneck garlic, you'll look at the top of the stalks like this and they'll start to turn brown and yellow and die back. So when about the first 2 to 3 leaves on your hardneck garlic there at the top have turned yellow and brown and are dying back, that's usually your indication that the hardneck garlic is also ready to be harvested. So harvesting your garlic is pretty easy. You're simply going to be pulling it up, but you want to make sure when you're pulling it up that you don't accidentally pull the top off and leave the actual garlic bulb rooted down into the soil. So here we have this stalk, it's already fallen over. So we'll kind of pull back the straw that I had on there. Push back. And you can see the top of this bulb is actually, we can see it right there in the dirt. So I kind of push the dirt back and then I just use my fingers. I find hands are the easiest thing is your gardening tool and one of your best ones. And I put them a little bit beneath the bulb here and I kind of go like this so that I'm pulling those roots loose. So you can see here we've got all of these lovely roots, lots of dirt. And I don't worry too much about the dirt. So I kind of just knock off the bigger clumps of this. But with your garlic, when you harvest it, we're going to get all of this harvested and then we need to make sure that we are actually curing it. So I'm going to pull all of this up and just kind of brush off the biggest clumps, but I'm not worried about getting this totally all the way clean. And that, my friends, is our first bulb of garlic. Look at the size of that one. It's huge. So these are the hardneck, and you can tell they don't bend, and as they dry, they definitely won't bend at all. They'll become even harder as they begin to cure. And the size of the bulb, they're not as large either on the end. Signs of a true gardener, dirty hands. Okay guys, so that row of garlic is completely pulled up and harvested. So now we got the biggest clumps of the dirt are knocked off. We need to get this to curing. So curing is what helps to dry it out. It creates, one, you need to get that moisture out, right? So we don't get mold and mildew. And then curing also dries out the outer layers to create kind of a protective barrier so that they will store a lot longer. So we got to get this cured for our storing purposes. And then with the softneck, once it's fully cured, then I'll be able to braid it as well. So we're going to go and get this moved into the shade where there's lots of great airflow, which is why a basket like this or a screen, anything like that, will allow the air to flow through here, which is what we're after during the curing process. So this is on our back deck, and this part never actually gets full sun. So this is deep enough under the covered porch that we won't get any direct sunlight here, which is key. You actually don't want to have any type of direct sunlight on your onions or your garlic, which is what we've got right here, when they're curing, because it can actually burn them. So you want an area that has great airflow, good air circulation, and does get pretty warm. So, ideally anywhere from like 85 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit is great. And right now, here in the Pacific Northwest, we don't actually have very much high humidity, and we've finally got some days in the forecast that are showing we're gonna have some warm temperatures and sunshine and no rain. So I try not to harvest when I know that we're gonna be having a lot of wet and humid or a lot of rainy conditions coming. We just came off of a couple of days of rain, so I waited to harvest. I kept my eye on the forecast until we had some sun coming so that I could get these curing when we had that warmer weather. So if the conditions are right, where it's warm and dry and good airflow, usually about 2 weeks is what I let mine cure, and then we'll test them, and then I'll go ahead and braid them and get them ready for the softneck garlic. I should say we'll braid them. I do a little bit different tying up system with the hardneck because you cannot braid that hardneck in any way, shape, or form. Then when I bring them in the house to store for us to use throughout the fall and into the winter months. If you enjoyed this video on harvesting garlic, please let me know in the comments below, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you get a notification whenever a new video releases. And if you've got any other questions about how we harvest and then preserve, in this case it's going to be curing and drying our garden produce to enjoy throughout the winter months and into the following year, let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to see you in our next video.